So sometimes I'm giving you a thought as I'm exploring it, and they're always unedited, they're always incomplete, but it's a thought, and I like to talk about things that I don't think a lot of people want to talk about, because people will point the fingers and people will criticize you and people will say, they'll call you names, they'll say all kinds of things. And one of those that I've gotten a lot in many of my videos is racist. It comes up a lot. Racist, slavery, things like that. And it makes me think a lot about these topics. And it makes me process, and it makes me look for connections between seemingly unconnected things. And I started thinking a lot about slave owners because I've been called this. I've been called this in my BDSM videos. I've been called this in my interracial dating videos. And it's a word that people go to when they want to try to shut down your argument. They want to shut down your thinking. But it doesn't shut down my thinking. It turbocharges my thinking. It makes me think more. And on this topic, I thought a lot about this. I've thought a lot about it. And when alcohol was outlawed during the Prohibition, alcoholism didn't disappear. It continued. Making something illegal doesn't put an end to it. It was the same with slavery. Slavery was the mentality of a slave owner. It didn't end. Slave owners didn't disappear when it was made illegal. They changed their spots. That's the reality of it. And slavery, think about enslaving another person. You can do so in so many ways. You can do so mentally, you can do so physically, you can do so financially, you can do so with any type of resource. You can enslave people in so many different ways. And a lot of the things I talk about, it does take a little bit of thinking outside the box. It does take a little bit of thinking in a different way. And it does take a little bit of tweaking how you think, or maybe your preconceived ideas about something. But what would make a slave owner? It's not a race issue. The slavery in the 16, 17, 1800s, that was a byproduct of resources and weaponry. It wasn't a byproduct of an intellect or worth or quality. There's equality among all people, no matter what race they are. So that was a byproduct of a set of circumstances at the time. And the type of person that is willing to enslave another person, the qualities of that person hasn't changed ever throughout all of history. We still have people that have that mentality, and they could be white people, they could be black people, they could be men, they could be women, they could be Asian or Hispanic, they could be all kinds of different people. They could be educated, they could be uneducated. The mentality is the key. There has to be some sense of inflated self-worth and narcissism, to use a term that I don't like to use all that often because I think it's overused, but there's a type of person. It's a mentality. And people that would never be willing to do that to another person are, and people that would be willing to do that to another person are, and they've adapted. So we live in times where, regardless of your race, regardless of the race of a person, there are people with that mentality. There are black people that would enslave other people. There are white people that would enslave other people. It's a mentality. It's a narcissistic mentality. It's somebody who is concerned with a different set of things than the majority of the population, because in the end, the majority of people wouldn't behave in that way. Society wouldn't function if the majority of people had that mentality. Who are some people that might own slaves in this day and age? What would be the equivalent of modern day slavery in the world, in America? Could we call the education system? Could we call the people that are making all of the profit off of student loans? Could we call that? Could we call them slave owners? They're enslaving people in debt. Do you feel free? Do you have the freedom to do what you want tomorrow? Or do you have to go to work? Do you have to continue with this grind? Do you have to just continue day after day after day? Do you have to trade your life for, literally, are you trading your life for money to maintain your life? I mean, think about the mentality there. Think about what happened. Think about how you got to that place. Think about who would be willing to do that to you. Think about why you have the debt you have, and if it's benefiting you or if it's enslaving you. Is it a burden to you or not? I'm not comparing, and you know, I know I'm trying to preemptively sort of caveat the attacks that I'm going to get, saying, oh, you can't compare student loans to slavery in America in the 1700s, and I'm not, because that was non-consensual. That wasn't willing. But like I said, it's a mentality, and the people that have this mentality, they're going to have to change their stripes. They are going to have to adapt to the world they live in to continue to enslave people and feed off of them. That's just the reality of it. What else would be a modern day slave owner? What would be modern day slavery? What about the factories in China? Are you on a device made in one of those factories by a company that is highly profiting, maybe the most valuable corporation in the entire world, and they're building all of that wealth off of poor labor, people that couldn't even afford to buy one of their products if they had to, in conditions that are horrible that you yourself wouldn't work in? Are they slave owners? Are you supporting a slave owner? Are you watching me on a device and supporting somebody that would have been a slave owner? I don't know the answers to this shit. I think about it, I wonder about it, I ponder it, I question it, I doubt everything. I don't trust the media, I don't trust what I read, I don't trust what's reported to me. I sit, I look at what happens, I observe, I use deductive reasoning to try to come to my own conclusions and decide these things. Now my decision on this is, absolutely, this mentality didn't go away. These people are still here. How do we identify these people? Who are they? How do we not support them? How do I not be part of the problem? I make videos saying that I don't think you should go to school. I don't think you should get in debt with student loans. I think we live in a day and age where you're better off taking 5 or 10 years to explore your life. You can always go back to school when you know what you want to do, and not start your life in this enormous amount of debt that is going to cost you your freedom. Because at the end of the day, slavery is in large part an imprisonment of sorts. It doesn't have to be a physical shackles and chain. It can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be so many different things. It can be financial. If you lose your autonomy to somebody else. So that's my thinking on it, and I am always happy to hear what you think. I have adjusted the tone of this video intentionally because I feel like it's a serious topic. I feel like it's an incredibly saddening topic. I feel like it's an important topic. I feel like it's something that people don't think about or talk about often enough. And I don't see a point to swear. I don't have anything to drive home here. I just have something to ponder and think about and question, and something to hopefully create some doubt and conversation. I love it when it's in the comment sections below. I don't mind constructive criticism in the least. I'm happy to engage in it and hear about it and adjust course as people say things that make sense to me. So thanks for watching.